Hello, and welcome to Japanese Craft Beer Reviews. Today we will look at a beer from a brewery that doesn't get out and around so much outside of its local area. You may have seen it somewhere, perhaps in Tokyo, but I've never seen it really distributed in the area where I live. I went to the source to get it a few weeks back on a trip. And that brewery is Oriental Brewing in Kanazawa. And this is a relatively new. They started in 2016, and they've been around about 6-7 years or so, and they are located in the city of Kanazawa, which is the capital of Ishikawa Prefecture. I'll try to put a map up here so you can see where Kanazawa is. Ishikawa is a peninsula that kind of sticks out into the Sea of Japan, or if you live in Korea, the East Sea. And not to be confused with Oriental Brewery, which is a Korean concern, a rather large brewery which has been bought up by AB InBev, and they're the makers of things like Cass and Height beer, which you may have seen. Oriental Brewing has 18 beers listed on Rate Beer, and on Untapped a total of 77 different beers. Now, Untapped is unmoderated, and I suspect that quite a few of those 77 are probably duplicates so somebody entered a beer and somebody entered the same beer as a slightly different name perhaps. So established in 2016, and they have pubs in Kanazawa and three different pubs, and their brewery is located in the Higashiyama district, close to what's called the Higashi Chayamachi Tea District, and also in Korimbo, and one in Kanazawa Station, a pub there. And in fact, I visited that pub a few years ago when I went to Kanazawa. So they're I think they're expanding somewhat. I think they have a brewery planned or perhaps already built in the Yuwaku Onsen area. So I did go to their pub in Kanazawa Station in 2019, and I went back again about 2-3 weeks ago to Kanazawa on a short trip. It's a very nice city, very pleasant. Some people call it a little Kyoto. There are other places in Japan that also say that they are little Kyoto, but in this case it might be apt. A very nice castle. Beautiful park, one of the 3 top gardens in Japan, and also a wonderful museum, the 21st Century Museum of Art, and in the town. Great seafood. It's a pleasant place to get away, for a few days. So, okay, so the beer. That's enough about Oriental Brewing, and I'll put some links to them on the description. Let's get to the beer. And the beer that we're going to look at today from Oriental Brewing is this one. It's called Citra Single Hop, and it is a session IPA. It's at 5% and 24 international bittering units. So session IPAs can be a little bit lower in alcohol. This one is 5%. And I don't know much else about it. They say Citra Single Hop, so I assume that's what it is. The ingredients are malt from Germany and hops. Let's see what we got here. Rate beer, there are 3 ratings only, and the average is 3.3 out of 5. And Untapped, there were 702 ratings. There's always a lot more on Untapped. And the average there was a bit higher, 3.62 out of 5. So this beer cost 550 yen at where I bought it, and that was at the source, one of the sources at Kanazawa Station, at the Oriental Brewing pub there. They have beers to go if you like. And I didn't really have time to sit down and drink there, so I bought this at the pub and brought it back home with me. 550 yen. In U.S. dollar terms, that would be currently around $3.80. $3.80, and euros 3.47 euros for this. Okay, so a single hop Citra session IPA. I'm expecting this should be pretty tasty. Citra hops, of course, one of the most common hops used in IPAs these days. Okay, it is very, very light pastel sort of yellow, very slight haze, could be chill haze, and very tiny, tiny carbonation rising up from the bottom. Okay, and almost no head. I did splash it out a bit to get some head. Okay, right away I get Citra and overripe stone fruit. Smells slightly off. The drink by date is November of this year, and we are in August, so it's not yet at its prime. Perhaps it wasn't stored in great conditions. Yeah. So light, sort of overripe stone fruit is the primary aroma characteristic. And the flavor is pretty much as expected. Citrus there in the background, but there is a kind of light off flavor of kind of overripe fruit or vegetables. Yeah, very thin, kind of watery, not so satisfying. So, kind of a disappointment for me in this case. Yeah, I wish it had come out a little bit better. Session IPA should be refreshing, and it should not be too heavy in the mouth. This is not, but this is more watery than anything else. Yeah, I think they need to work on this one a little bit more. Once again, this is called Oriental Brewing Citra Single Hop. It's a session IPA, 5% and 24 international bitter units. So can't recommend it highly, but if you go to Kanazawa, you might want to stop in on their one of their pubs. They have several in town. Most convenient for travelers would probably be the one in the station, in Kanazawa Station, and also their source one, which is in Higashiyama or Higashi Chaya Machi area. So go visit them if you want. Okay, well that's it, and hope you're doing well. Hope the temperatures are dropping where you are. We had, I think, the hottest day of summer here where I live. Yesterday it was up around 40 degrees, and that would be in the mid to high 90s. I know that's nothing compared to what some places are experiencing, but hoping temperatures will start dropping now. We will see. Take care. Bye-bye.